Hey, New Beauty. Hey, Muddy Butters twin. Hey, Ajubi. Hey, Love from my 4C. Come on in. Hey, Rachel A. Hey, Cookie Dough. Hey, Kimberly. Hey, Alicia. Come on in. I'm trying to pull up these people's Tyrone. I was trying to write down a couple of things I want to talk about. The things that stuck out to me real quick. But I couldn't remember some of these people's names, so I had to write them down. Let me see. This was one of the juiciest reunions I'd ever seen. It really was. Like, the season was not that good at all, but the reunion though. Did you hear that Ready to Love new season is starting on the 28th? Dang, they really are acting like Married at First Sight. That is back to back. Run it back. I watched Sabrina's interview. Okay. I'm gonna have to watch that. I watched the interview with Frank. I couldn't finish it because he talk a lot. He talk a lot and don't say much. Okay. But I got some interesting perspective from him. But I'm gonna have to watch that interview. Naeem worked my nerves. Yes, he did. We gonna get to him. Naeem popped off for his girl. Is that his girl? Is that his girl? So many details of the new Ready to Love cast leaked. They had to put it out early. Dang. Bring it on, because this season was a flop. The only good thing about it is the reunion. At least they making up for it at the reunion. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started because I don't have too much time. But so first of all, I really don't expect much from the looks on this show, but the makeup was off. Whoever did the makeup did not do a good job. Like, and usually I don't talk about stuff like I don't talk about the makeup and the hair and stuff because these are regular people at the end of the day. This isn't like Housewives of Atlanta, but the makeup was so off, and I feel like it was like for some people it was just the undertone, and I'm starting to learn more about color matching and stuff. I feel like some people it wasn't necessarily it could have been the right shade if the undertone matched. You know what I'm saying? It was just a lot of mismatched undertones and red. Yeah, some people, but no, some people had red undertones and was wearing yellow foundation. I was just like, I think that was Aisha's problem. Hers was a yellow undertone and she has red undertones. I hated it. I hated it. Either the makeup or the lighting on set. I think it was the makeup. I think it was the makeup because a lot of people were looking cakey. I don't know who did it, but I hated it. I did. I did. I did like Sydney's look. I really liked her look. But she's the main one that stood out. Everybody else, I don't want to go in, so I'm not going to talk about everybody individually. I love Aisha. She's my favorite. She's my favorite, but whoever did her makeup did her wrong. So let me just go ahead and get into the first point. Um, Nephew Tommy was not able to host because of C-19. He contracted C-19. Um, I'm happy to hear that he's okay. I kind of wish he was there. Like, even though he can get on my nerves sometimes I think he doesn't call the right people out, or let certain things slide, or might be biased here or there. Um, I think there are certain points where some of these people should have been checked, and I think he would have done it. Like, for instance, Naeem. I feel like he would have checked Naeem. I do. Um, and this host, I don't think, it just doesn't seem like she watched the show or she knew all the details, so she couldn't really hold people to task for what happened, because clearly someone else wrote her questions. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think she's a bad I've seen her host other things. She wasn't a bad host. I just don't think she knew. It seemed like a last minute thing. Obviously he got C-19, so it most likely was a last minute thing. She did the best she could under the circumstances, right? Nephew Tommy didn't want to be there. He stays dodging the issues. You think so? Possibly. Possibly. Especially if Shiloh did show up. Possibly I could see him dodging that, because the way he handled it, I don't think he handled it in the worst way, but I think maybe he could have handled that a little bit better. Speaking of Shiloh, she didn't show up. Um, it's like if Carlos King didn't host. Yes, Carlos King hosting Love and Met. That's what made the reunion so good, is because he knows where the bodies are buried. Like, he knows what questions to ask. He knows the people so well that he knows when they're holding back. It's like, you need someone who knows them. But anyway, Shiloh didn't show up. Okay, let me say this. I think they're going to discuss it next week, the whole Shiloh and Phil situation. I just feel like I could see both sides of that situation. I just can. Like, especially after hearing a little bit more about what happened, I can see both sides. If With a little bit more context of them standing outside in the rain, arguing for a couple of hours after they were supposed, the club was closed, and y'all are outside arguing a couple of hours after. um and then she goes and walks off into an alley, and he grabs her um to keep her from danger or whatever. And she was intoxicated. You just can't tell me that she wasn't upset with him over him leaning towards Sydney. You can't tell me that didn't play a factor in any of this that happened. You know what I'm saying? Um, we've seen it so often on this particular show that people get in their feelings and make irrational decisions. You know, we're talking about matters of the heart. So while, I understand, like, if she has a trigger of someone picking her up and moving her when she doesn't want that to happen, I completely understand and respect that. At the same time, if you're walking down a alley and it's dangerous and it's nighttime, and where they are is known for being a dangerous area, I can understand Phil wanting to protect her as well. But at the same time, at the end of the day, is that really your responsibility? But at the same time, people will be looking at him like, protect Black women. We've been saying protect Black women. But did he just go about it in the wrong way? You know what I'm saying? I could see both sides. Shiloh is embarrassed. You think that's why she didn't show up? I could see that, but I don't want to say that for sure. The cast brought up things I'm sure the host was not going to speak on. Shiloh was being dumb in that situation. She might have just been overcome with emotion, especially since they were arguing for 2 hours. I can imagine, and she was like intoxicated. I'm sure she was just being like in her feelings and, making a bad decision in that moment, cuz it's just not a good decision to walk down a dark alley at night in a dangerous city. It's just not, you know. I saw I knew there was some truth missing from Shiloh's story because she was saying stuff like he was violent in an emotional way. Yeah, when you say things like that, like even though she clarified that she doesn't think he was trying to hurt her, um when you frame things in a certain way, you kind of have to be careful with how you frame things, And then we also have to look at intent versus impact because even though his intention was to save her, the impact of what he did probably really did trigger her. You know what I'm saying? And you also have to take that into account. But I agree, like the way she framed it can come off as her trying to make the situation seem worse than what it was. I side with Phil, darned if he did, darned if he don't. Imagine how we would have ripped into him if he left her at 3 a.m. in a place that he didn't feel comfortable. That's true. That's true. That's true. I heard a contestant who had been eliminated told Phil to go get her because she was walking down an alley. Production didn't want to bring up the eliminated contestant. Interesting. So they just completely cut that out. See, you know what I'm saying? Like that's like, if that's true, that's a very vital piece of the puzzle. Because if someone told him that, obviously that person, if he didn't go do it, that person would go around, well, Phil didn't even care if she was walking down the alley at 3 o'clock in the morning. You know what I'm saying? Like that could have flipped on him easily. She was hurt that he essentially didn't feel the same way that she did. She internalized that hurt and lashed out. Her not wanting him to pick her up is a valid position, but the way it felt like she was trying to make it seem like he was trying to hurt her, I didn't like. That's it for me. That's it for me, because I do feel like she's valid in not wanting to be picked up. But to say that to she did say that she didn't feel like he did it that he was trying to hurt her. But it still feels like she was pressing the issue as if he was still trying to do something negative. You know what I'm saying? Like emotionally. We gonna get to feel not when Sydney called out for the men to say something and Phil didn't say nothing. We're gonna talk about that because I didn't like that. I heard Phil had been standing out there for at least an hour trying to convince Shiloh before going to get her, and that other contestant was there. I mean, another contestant was there. Yes, they were out celebrating Courtney's birthday. It was confirmed Phil only had one drink. The way Shiloh framed it was giving Karen from Married at First Sight. I thought he was going to do something when Miles put relate. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, like the way you're trying to spin it, like he didn't mean it that way. And I see what you mean. Like I really don't think his intentions were bad at all. I think he really was trying to, protect her, you know? Maybe he did it in a frustrating way because he was waiting for an hour, like he was arguing for an hour. And so it's like, well, girl, come on. Like he just picked her up. Maybe it was in a frustrating way. And the way she received it, she didn't like the way the way that it went down, possibly. Something tells me that they have been intimate and feelings were deep involved, especially let me tell you something. The way he was kissing on Sydney, I don't know. She seemed I feel like there might have been a little bit of hurt feelings there because of that. Okay, so we spent enough time on that. I didn't even really need to go into that deeply, but um Tyrone apologized to Carrie. What I don't understand, like, okay, it's nice that he apologized. I'm glad that he apologized because he should have apologized. Um the way he spoke to her was insensitive and rude. Um because just because you like another contestant, that don't mean you just have to like drop everybody else. And like he went so hard for Shiloh. It was kind of weird, but the way he talked to her was just like, I don't know, it was just so rude. And she deserved an apology. But what I didn't understand was why everybody was like, that was just so touching. That was so touching. They really touched me. Like all he did was say, well, I shouldn't have said it like that. Like, I don't know. I didn't understand why everybody was just like clapping for him and giving him so much for that apology. It wasn't even that deep to me. I actually thought Tyrone and Carrie actually looked good sitting together. I wouldn't be mad at them reconnecting. At the end of the day, he should have focused more on Carrie, because I think Carrie would have been the one to have the patience to understand him. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, I think he saved her, because dealing with him would be a roller coaster. Because he seems like it seems like his emotions vacillate. It wasn't touching. It wasn't. It wasn't. Tyrone did a lot better. I had to catch myself, like, he just dissed her for the second time on TV. Like, they were really emotional over that apology. But I like Tyrone. I think he grew from this experience. Phil is playing a nice guy. Yeah, I agree with that. We're gonna get to him. Yeah, I don't know. I just thought that was weird. Like how everybody, it was just so touching. Like it wasn't that touching. Like it was all right. Like I feel like it was decent, but it wasn't nothing to just be going up for like that. Frank and Mean. Frank did exactly what I thought Frank was doing the entire time. I thought Frank was playing the game. Um, I thought Frank was playing the game. I feel like Frank came on this show wanting to promote whatever it is he's trying to promote. He wanted to be on TV. And, for whatever reason, Mean fell for everything he said. Like he wasn't even convincing to me, y'all. He comes off as very inauthentic. Like I didn't get why she was so head over heels for him. And I feel like him and Sydney were in cahoots. I feel like because they knew each other, they were, each other's like backup, like just in case. Like they always had that other person, but I don't think that they actually like each other as more than friends. So I feel like, because I also feel like Sydney was playing the game as well. So yeah, he never came off as genuine to me. I don't even know if Frank likes black women. I'm not saying that he like hates black women, but your your exes are white. So I don't know. There's nothing wrong with liking white women, but I just don't know if he truly likes black women. So that's like, if that's so, I feel like that's like another fraudulent thing. Like why he came off as insincere. Frank franked. He gave exactly what I thought he would. Frank was fake. Frank and Mumin had zero chemistry. Exactly. They didn't even have any chemistry. I think Mumin just literally I don't think Mumin was necessarily playing the game. I think she just wanted somebody too bad that she would accept anyone. I think Frank and Sydney came on the show for marketing purposes. Yep. Building a brand. I totally believe that. Frank got them sausage fingers. Did y'all see that he was wearing cowboy boots? I didn't see that until I saw it on Twitter. Somebody put that he was wearing. I was like, why is he wearing cowboy boots? Mumin didn't even look like she believed his little speech. Oh no, she was done with him. He didn't even try to talk to her afterwards. Like, he could have at least played it off a little bit. Frank did say that he and Sydney talked to each other about how they were going to go about the game. See? Calculated. Mumin played the game too. I don't think they had a connection and she knew that. That's why she never reached out to him either. Just she's just as much to blame. I don't know. I think she's one of those people that she just wants to be loved. You know what I'm saying? She'll if anybody shows her that sort of attention, she will take it. Cause what was the other guy's name? Corey. She gave who if you'll give Corey a chance, like a real chance, something wrong. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Nobody wouldn't really give Corey a chance. Frank did say he had to learn how to date black women. What? I I think I remember him saying something like that in that interview, and I'm just like, if you have to learn how to date black women, you just don't like them. Frank came on this show for clout. Someone pointed out his exes were white or light skinned. Makes sense. Frank said in an interview he struggles dating black women. See, that's that I knew it. I know that's the way he acts. Like, he doesn't act like a man that dates black women. And I hate to like generalize or stereotype or whatever, but he doesn't act like a black man that dates black women. It's like he didn't know, like when he had that conversation with Sabrina, it's like he didn't know how to navigate that conversation with her. Sean doesn't give me I date black women vibes either. He doesn't. He doesn't. Mumin got Liz. I was too busy looking for lip balm. Y'all keep talking about this man lips. No, Liz and Jason are not together anymore. He played the game. I want to know why they play the game if y'all don't get money. They don't get money to get to the final finale. Frank had some strange clothes. When Tommy told him he wanted that jacket. Yes, I remember that. He wasn't being slick. He was he was clowning. He was clowning. I feel like Mumin is dating Corey now. You think so? I hope not. I hope not. That man got some problems. I saw him crying for that preview. What you crying about? If he said that he should have went on The Bachelorette. What is there to learn? That's what I'm saying. Like, why do you have to learn to be with a black woman? Like, and you're black. Like, that's weird. And your mom, your parents are black. It's not like you were raised by white people. Why go on a black show? For the clout. For the clout. He's just fake. He's fake and disingenuous. It is what it is. He did all of this to be seen and to promote whatever businesses or whatever he has. All right, let me move on. Um Camille and Cornelius. Cornelius, how does it feel to be controlled in every way? Anything that Cornelius said had to be approved by Camille. You could tell that he was tiptoeing around everything he said. He couldn't look at anybody. He couldn't relax. He was uptight. Like, how does it feel to be completely controlled by another human being? Like, how did like it I can't even feel bad for you at this point because you're willingly there. Like, you're willingly participating in this. Cornelius is a jelly spine Ahab and he found his Jezebel. I am screaming. Corny and Chameleonaire said they come together and they leave together. Cornelius is weak. I don't want to speculate his sexuality. I don't want to speculate that because honestly, we'll never know. We'll never know. Camille has such a disgusting personality. Like, the fact that she was sitting up here, we see your mouth moving. We see your mouth moving. Like, that's on another level of gaslighting. Like, that is very psychotic for us to actually, first of all, not only the fact that people were there and heard you, but for us to see you on camera and your mouth moving, and for you to go as far as to say that they doctored the footage and put someone else's voice to it. Like, that was so disgusting to me that they were literally trying to sit up there and gaslight everybody like that. She didn't say it, Pinky. It was a voiceover, either Olivia or Shay Shay. Cause I'm like, we literally see your mouth moving. Are you crazy? She said I was you were picking your teeth and speaking at the same time. Your mouth was moving. Like, and the person you said it to heard it. I don't care if Cornelius didn't hear it. I don't care if nobody else at the table heard it. The person who you said it to heard it. Now, that level of gaslighting really, it irritated me so bad. And that at that point, that's when the host really should hold you to task. Because we're sitting up here watching your mouth move. That was scary. And you know what? Something else that's scary? Camille is a teacher. Camille is a teacher. She teaches, I don't know who, if she teaches young kids or high school students, but that's the kind of teacher that will lie on you, that will give you a bad grade and act like, oh, you just need to work harder. You know what I'm saying? Like, that disgusts me about this whole situation. When I found out she was a teacher and you acting like this, she does not need to be working with kids. I know this is the Christian representation we get. I mean, really, like, I just could not believe that she was sitting up here gaslighting everybody like that. And like, at one point she said something crazy and she was like, "Oh, did I say that?" Yes, you said it. You were nasty to everybody. You and Zadia, y'all were aggressive. You were. And any other time, yes, Black women do get that label of angry Black woman, and it's unfair because a lot of times we are just speaking our mind and just being passionate and speaking the truth a lot of times, and we get called angry. I totally understand, especially as a darker skinned Black woman. I understand that too. I know colorism exists. Okay. So I'm not trying to take away from that at all, but your behavior, your actions, telling somebody, if you put him up, I'm going to F you up. That is aggressive. That is aggressive. It is what it is. I mean, people are just calling it for what it is. You wouldn't let any of the women talk to Cornelius. Cornelius even said himself he wished he would have gotten a chance to talk with other people. It is what it is. And I heard Frank said that um this it I don't know if it's going to be mentioned on the show, but apparently like off screen they had a party and her and Sydney got into it because I think one of them, either Zadia or Camille, unplugged her phone from being charged. So to get back at Camille, she gave him this hug and started dancing on him a little bit. So that's where all the animosity with Sydney comes in. Um, but they were nasty to people. They were nasty. They were mean girls. And a lot of people, they were trying to turn the brown girl clique into like excluding, the lighter people. I don't think it was that. I think it was the mean girl clique. I think it was, you know, nothing more, nothing less. I think it was the mean girl clique. Sabrina and Carrie said Zadia kicked. Wait. Sabrina and Carrie said Zadia kicked Zadia. Wait. And Zadia kicked Carrie. And when confronted, she was like, who is she kicked her? Like physically? Zadia does cape for Camille way because Camille just be sitting there. She does cape for Zadia just want to fight. Zadia just want to argue. She just combative. She really is. She showed it. That was so disgusting when they played that back when Camille called him a country bumpkin. She was so like everybody was sitting up there like, what? They could not believe that she had disrespected him in that way, and she was just looking stupid like, girl, you are so disrespectful, and Cornelius, you look stupid for sitting there and letting this woman talk to you like that. Physically, so she physically kicked somebody. So you mean to tell me that Zadia has physically kicked someone, one of the contestants, and put her hand all up in Dante's face? And according to Frank, that was not the last time she did that. She did that another time she got in his face physically. But she wasn't removed from this experience. I'm sorry. If a man was going around here, I don't care if he was putting his hands on other men. If y'all are going to be putting your hands on each other, kicking, and then touching people and getting in their faces, I think you should be removed because obviously you have no self control. Oh, when she crossed her legs, it hurt Carrie. And when she did it, she said nothing. And then later she said, who's Carrie? Okay, so it was more like a mean girl thing. She wasn't like trying to like full force kick her. But still, I get what you're saying. It was kind of an accident, but instead of being polite and saying excuse me or I'm sorry, she said who? She wanted to start something. Okay, I get it. I get it. But I still think with her getting in Dante's face more than once, I don't think she should have been. I don't think she should have been able to continue. Cuz if you do stuff like that, I don't care if you're a woman, that's out of line. That's crossing the line. And then let's get into Naeem. Naeem said, I'm sorry, y'all, I thought I heard something. Naeem said that the reason why the women are coming at Zadia is because the first week, 8 out of the 9 men said they wanted Zadia, right? First of all, how would the women even know that? That happened in your private man cave meeting. How would the women even know that? That doesn't even make any sense at all. At all. And I feel like I hate when men come into a situation and try to pit women against each other and try to make it seem like, oh, y'all just jealous. I can't stand when men do stuff like that. We do not need you to come in and try to pit us against each other. It didn't even make any sense. Trying to reduce it to jealousy. Exactly. He tried to make it seem like it's just like a catty thing. Oh, they're just jealous of her because she's cute. And Zadia, very beautiful, will never take that away from her. The same thing what Carrie said. She actually is very gorgeous. Like whenever I first saw her, I thought that. Beautiful, nice body and everything. But one, you're not the only pretty person on this show. And two, it's your nasty attitude. It's your nasty attitude. You're so, every time somebody says something that you don't like, it's an argument. And you get nasty. You and Camille, y'all boost each other up. Both of y'all are really negative. Naeem came off as a hotep from the beginning. Caping for her. And the thing is, Naeem, she don't want you. I don't know why you're like, literally, this is the definition of a pick me right now. She doesn't want you. I think another reason why he said that is because he wants to make it seem like, yeah, all the men want the woman I got my arm around right now. Is she even with you? Are y'all even together? Because it didn't seem like it. It doesn't even seem like she liked him for real. It never seemed like she liked him. It always seemed like she kept him around simply so she could just have somebody. I don't even think she really liked Dante. But if anything, the jealousy seems to be towards that whole situation with Aisha and Dante. Now, do I think she really likes Dante? No, but I think she felt a way that he decided to go with Aisha. Now, if anything, if we want to talk about jealousy, that's what that looks like to me. Because whenever she got into it with Dante, she was like, "Well, yeah, get with Aisha. That talks so much and don't ever say nothing." Why do you care? Zadia wanted Dante, but she'll accept Naeem's spark. She was just mad Dante likes Aisha. Exactly. Carrie said it right, but the men didn't like her behavior either, and none of them said anything. That irked me so bad. Oh my goodness. So whenever Naeem was going off about how the women were just jealous or whatever, and Sydney was like, why won't one of these men check him? I was thinking the same thing. Why are these men not saying nothing? Frank, you were the main one who was upset with Zadia. Whenever her name got brought up, what she did to Dante, you was one of the main people that had a visceral reaction to what she did. You didn't stand up and say nothing unless it got edited out. Okay, if it got edited out, I'm willing to be wrong. But Frank, you didn't stand up and say nothing and check Naeem, even though you know Zadia has been aggressive in these situations. You've seen it. Phil, you're not going to stand up for your woman. You're not going to check Naeem. And I'm not saying you have to get in this man's face. I'm not saying you have to be aggressive or be disrespectful, but stand up for her. Say, man, nah, it's not like that, and you know it's not like that. You know how she came at these women in these different instances. You know that. You know what I'm saying? It didn't even have to be in a disrespectful way. Just say something in defense of this ridiculousness. I heard them say if that was their boy, they would have nudged him, but otherwise they let him sink. At that point, it wasn't about him sinking. It was about someone checking this man basically basically I'm sorry y'all. I heard my family talk I thought I heard somebody fall up there. But what was I saying? It was about basically just like getting this man together that's arguing with all these women. One of the cast said that the argument with Zadia went way longer than what we saw, so they probably was all tired and over it. Well, somebody should have stepped in. That's why we needed Tommy there. Um Zadia thinks she's better than Aisha. You could tell she looks down on her. Yep, I totally feel that way. She thinks she's better than Aisha, and that's why she felt a way that Dante chose Aisha over Zadia. But you know why he chose her? Aisha is authentic. Whether you like her or not, she's herself. Okay? She may not be the most proper person. I don't know what her education level is, but she's authentic and she's real. And I feel like that's why a lot of these men gravitated towards her because she wasn't putting on and faking. She was real. I truly believe that. And I think that's why her and Dante truly connected. I feel like they're the only people out of all of these seasons, not just this season, but all of the seasons that probably had a true connection because both of them seem to be real with each other. Hopefully, I hope he's being real. You know what I'm saying? He was butting into women's business and he needed to butt out. And I wish I'm not saying the men had to go off on him. I'm saying the men should have just said this is between them. Somebody should have said something. Even if the host would have just moved on, it just if it went on for longer than that, it shouldn't have went on for that long because it was a stupid point. It didn't make any sense. How would the women even know that they all chose Zadia? And even if the majority of the men chose Zadia, at the end of the day, Zadia didn't even make it to the end. So what does that have to do with any of what's going on now? Aisha is mature. I feel like if Aisha wasn't mature, she would have been popped Zadia. She would have been popped her because she was asking for it. And then let's see what I'm gonna end on. Sabrina cracked me up at the beginning of that segment though when she was like, "Do I need to take off my shoes now?" Or I was shocked. Actually I shouldn't have been shocked because she did say she was a stripper. So I'm not shocked that she was ready to fight. But then okay, at the end with Tisha, this is what I'm gonna end on. Tisha at the end. This is just so ghetto. This is so ghetto. I don't want to do this. I'm tired of this. This is ghetto. My mom is sick. Da, 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 da. What? Then why are you here, Ticia? Because you really didn't have to come. You really didn't have to come. Now I was upset that Shiloh wasn't there because I feel like we have things to discuss with Shiloh. But Ticia, we really didn't need you. In fact, it probably would have been a good look for you not to show up because we wouldn't have to focus so much on your bad attitude. Because I tried to see it for you. I tried to see where you were coming from in certain situations, but at the end of the day, it just seems like you had a terrible attitude the entire time. It seemed like you were very entitled the entire time during this experience. And you seem very sensitive and insecure in some ways. Like, I just didn't understand that. Like, and when you made that huge scene, like, did you just want us to see your dress? Like, did you just want some attention in that moment? Did you want to make sure you got some camera time? Like, what was that about? Because if your mom is really sick, why are you not with your mom? Because I'll tell you one thing, if my mom was sick, I wouldn't be on Ready to Love reunion. And honestly, what was really ghetto about them going back and forth? Like, I'm so tired of black people being labeled, especially when other black people do it. When we label two people going back and forth, because it might have been some cursing going on, yeah, but nobody was getting up and trying to fight. So, because we're going back and forth because there's a person sitting here gaslighting the entire room, or a group of people sitting here gaslighting the entire room and people are calling them out on it, how is that ghetto? Because white people on white reality shows do this sort of thing too. Would you call them ghetto? Like, I don't know. I just, was it really ghetto? Like, I don't know. And if, let's say it was ghetto, you're on a reality show. You're on a reality show. What do you expect? Let me see what y'all are saying. Sabrina was ready to get put on her Vaseline to get it popping. Making a scene is ghetto. She just wanted attention. She was still mad from being the bottom from day one. That's what she was really mad about. Corey's crying scene had something to do with Tisha. Ooh, Ticia. Is it Ticia? I keep saying it wrong. She wanted us to see her dress. I do think she. Do you want us to see your dress, honey? Is that why you stormed out? That didn't make any sense. And notice nobody from the main cast, like the main people in the cast, nobody really came after her because that was just silly. Hopefully, not her wanting to see the dress. It wasn't cute. Not Tisa. Ticia. Okay, thank you. Ticia. Attention seeking, very much. Camille was ghetto. I, if you want to say that, I just think she was being a gaslighter and purposely obtuse. It's because apparently it's been going on for hours. It's a reality show. This is the reunion. Does she not know how TV works? Thank you for the super chat, super swagging. Hello, my sister is pregnant. I'm going to be a dad. I'm sorry. I had to put somebody that sent money in timeout, but that's weird. Don't do that. She expected to be the number one choice because she is pretty and thick, but she didn't have the personality to match. I could see that. I could see her just expecting, because she's pretty and thick, like you said, for she thought that she was automatically was gonna be on top. But girl, your personality is off-putting. Your personality rubbed people the wrong way. And I feel like you were entitled a lot in this situation. It's not ghetto, but it's the norm to use those terms for us, and it's annoying. I know, I hate it. I hate it when people just automatically go to ghetto. I hate that. I think Ticia didn't like not having her time to speak. They did start the reunion talking about Sydney and Sean. Ticia really needs to lose weight since she wants to have kids in the future. Oh, I'm not gonna go there. Ticia should have been at the house with Tommy. She looking just fine when they got to her segment. Exactly. You came back. Clearly. Camille, yeah, that super chat was weird. I had to block him. I read it because I didn't read it before I read it. Camille denying what she said at the dinner was crazy. I know. That was all the way gaslighting. Can you not see when I delete comments because I deleted it? Maybe because it was a super chat. I don't know. That was so weird. Regarding the editing, I will say that based on the reunion and the cast interviews, it does seem like they left out a bunch of relevant scenes. It does, but they do that on this show often. Like they leave out so many of the relevant things that happen on the show on the editing floor, and I don't know why. Anyway, y'all, this chat is getting weird. I'm gonna get off of here. I gotta go, but I will see you guys in my next video, okay? I gotta go. Bye, everybody.